Bringing the news and information you need from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood. This is a special edition of Comcast Newsmakers.
Hi, Spiro Kent with you on this edition of Comcast Newsmakers, on the road and poolside. And what a better place to talk about smooth sailing, right? Pat Morgan is smooth sailing executive and life coaching. And the old saying is, if you don't know where you're going, you're probably going to get there, right?
That's so true, Spiro.
So your entire thought in life is, I'm going to go out there and tell people how to get to where they want to go.
Well, I'm going to help people find their way to get where they want to go.
Okay, first of all, as you make this journey, you have to figure out what you want to do, right?
It's so true. Yeah, that's the starting place whenever we begin coaching.
And people want a certain result, but they don't know how to get there.
That oftentimes they don't. Sometimes they've even lost touch with where they want to go. They don't remember.
So how do
exactly.
you help in that?
Well, what we do is we figure out what's really important to you and what you'd love to create. If time was not an obstacle, if you had all the money that you needed in the world, what would you create in your life? And then we can put together a strategy to help take you there.
Now, you talk about life and executive coaching. What's the difference between the two?
Well, all of the coaching that I do, Spiro, is with executives, business leaders, business owners, and busy professionals. Executive coaching has to do more with developing your leadership skills, maybe growing your business, taking your organization to the next level, working with your team, whereas the life coaching is more around the individual, what you're wanting to create in your personal life.
What do you find is the biggest obstacle people run into in trying to accomplish their goals?
Well, there are a few things that hold people back. One is lack of clarity. They're just not clear about what they want to accomplish. A lot of times they're afraid of change. In order to do something different or to create a different outcome, you've got to change something. And change can be very scary for people. And then a lot of times they just don't have a clear path to get to their goal.
When you say change, you're talking about a change in behavior?
It could be a change in behavior. It could be a change in their circumstances. Maybe it's a career move. It might be starting a business, moving to a new home, starting a new venture.
Well, one thing I found out as a public official is people do not like change. They talk about it, but it's almost, if you change the status quo, there's some resistance.
That's so true. Many people resist change because it requires you to either do something different, maybe form some new habits, give up some things that have been a part of your world. It can be uncomfortable whenever you make a change.
And that holds people back.
It does, yes.
Do people realize that, or are they just kind of resolved to the fact that, well, I'm making ends meet, it's tough economic times, maybe I should stay where I am?
Well, some people do just decide to stay where they are, but people who are really ready to make a change and are willing to do some things differently can benefit from coaching immensely, because with the coaching process, you have the structure and the support and the tools and the accountability to help you make those changes.
And looking at life coaching, where we are right now in the economy, is this the time to actually look into it introspectively as far as your career and your life goals?
I think it's a great time to look into this. With all the pressure, the economic turmoil, the job market instability, it's a great time for people to look at what they really want to create in their life and take some steps to make their life work for them and to create a career that's going to be what they want for the future.
You know, you're looking at two sides. You're looking at professional and life goals. Do they marry together a lot?
They do. As a matter of fact, your performance and the way that you react in your job, the way that you perform is a direct result of what you're doing with your life.
Really?
If you show up and you haven't had enough sleep and you're not taking care of yourself, you're hungry and tired, you perform a lot differently than whenever you're energized and refreshed and inspired to do your work.
And if you're happy at home, you're happy at work.
Yes.
People need other things in their lives than just work, and I think when you just look at, if you somewhat is singular as far as the way they're looking at their lives, that their job is everything, then they're running into problems, aren't they? Future problems.
It's so true. Yeah, and one of the things that we work on in coaching, Spiro, is taking time for yourself and making yourself a priority, because what tends to happen with people is they get into the job, they get into a lifestyle that they've created, family obligations and all the responsibilities, and they lose sight of themselves. And whenever you don't make yourself a priority, then you become frustrated or resentful or less productive in your job.
Great thoughts to start off 2009. Thanks very much. Pat Morgan, our guest this hour on Newsmakers. She's smooth sailing executive and life coaching. A fine way to start off 2009. I'm Spiro Canton. Thanks for joining us.
The preceding has been a special presentation of Comcast Newsmakers from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood. And now, back to CNN Headline News.